In the glass and marble mansion that overlooked the city like a silent king, little Oliver had everything money could buy: hand-carved toys from Italy, a nursery designed by award-winning architects, doctors on call day and night, yet he had never laughed, not once, not in the 18 months since he was born, and the silence that followed him was heavier than the chandeliers above. His father, Alexander Graves, a self-made millionaire known for turning failing companies into gold, watched his son with a pain he could never quantify on a balance sheet. Oliver's eyes were alert, intelligent even, but joy never crossed his face, and no matter how many specialists Alexander hired, no matter how many experimental therapies they tried, the verdict was always the same: he is healthy. Perhaps he will laugh in time. Time, however, felt like a cruel luxury. Then came Clara, the new nanny, hired quietly after the last one resigned under the pressure of expectations she could never meet. Clara was different from the start, not louder, not overly confident, just calm, observant, with a gentleness that seemed untrained and therefore rare. She didn't try to impress Alexander with theories or techniques. Instead, she spent hours simply sitting near Oliver, letting him watch her as she hummed softly or folded tiny clothes with careful hands. Days passed, and Alexander noticed something strange. Oliver's gaze followed Clara everywhere, as if her presence tuned him into the world in a way nothing else had. Still, there was no laughter, and Alexander guarded his hope like a fragile investment. One afternoon, exhausted from a night of teething cries, Clara lay down on the soft rug in the living room, stretching her arms as Oliver sat nearby in his play area. She made no show of it, no planned routine. She simply rolled onto her back and pretended to be asleep, letting out a gentle, exaggerated snore without realizing that Oliver was watching closely. Then, without warning, she wiggled her legs and arms like a clumsy turtle stuck on its shell, her face scrunching into mock confusion, and in that unguarded, ridiculous moment, something miraculous happened. Oliver's lips trembled, his eyes widened, and a sound escaped him, small at first, like air catching on a smile, and then it bloomed into a clear, bright laugh that filled the room. Clara froze, afraid to break the spell, while Alexander, standing at the doorway with his phone forgotten in his hand, felt his chest tighten as tears rose uninvited. The sound he had waited nearly 2 years to hear echoed against the walls, and in that instant, all his wealth felt insignificant compared to that single laugh. Oliver laughed again, louder now, kicking his feet, delighted not by toys or tricks but by the simple sight of the nanny on the floor, human, imperfect, present. Alexander stepped forward slowly, afraid this joy might vanish if he moved too fast, and when Oliver saw his father's stunned expression, the laughter only grew, as if happiness, once unlocked, demanded to be shared. That night, Alexander sat alone in his study, the city lights blurring through tear-filled eyes, and realized how close he had come to missing the truth, that love doesn't always arrive dressed in solutions, that sometimes it comes quietly, lies down on the floor, and dares to look foolish. From that day on, Oliver laughed often, not constantly, not on command, but freely, and each laugh stitched something new into Alexander's heart, teaching him humility in a way no failure ever had. Clara never boasted about what she had done. When Alexander thanked her, voice unsteady, she simply said she hadn't tried to fix Oliver, she had just tried to be with him, and that difference changed everything. If this story touched you, if it reminded you that the smallest moments can carry the greatest miracles, then don't let it end here. Subscribe to the channel for more powerful, heart-changing stories that prove hope can arrive when you least expect it, sometimes right there on the floor.